Yo, what's going on then, guys? It's your boy Ben Gregson here, and I have officially made a decision on what deck I'm going to play for the next format. And this basically all came to fruition when I went to a tournament in this Friday, and I took 5th place, dropping 2 games, one to Cosmo Fire King, which was an absolutely terrible matchup anyway, and then one to my good friend Josh. Now, my good friend Josh was actually playing Yosenju with lots of rivalry of warlords and lots of lose one turns, and basically made me want to cry. Um, because of the deck I was playing, this was a really hard matchup for me. I ended up going 2-0 against Evil Swarm. Then I ended up going 2-0 against, I went 2-1 against Fluffles because he twin twisted my back row and I lost a Solemn and a Bottomless. And then game 3 I went up against Red Dragon Archfiend. This wasn't a super competitive tournament, by the way, just to put that out there. Yeah, I went against Red Dragon Archfiend, went 2-0, then lost 2-0 to Fire King Cosmo, then lost 2-1 to Yosenju. So I ended up placing 5th out of, I believe, 30 people, which I know it's a small tournament and it's kind of a locals, but for first time testing the deck, I was really happy with it. So this deck is Infernoids, and I really think they're a good choice of format. So, start things off, we're running 3 Decatron. Basically, long story short, send an Infernoid to grave. It gains that monster's level, and then copies its effect. So say you send on Harmadik, this card's level becomes 4, and then you get to pop a monster your opponent controls. A really cool play you can do with this card is you can go send Harmadik, pop a card your opponent controls, and then special summon a Patrulia from hand, and you get a free Stardust. You can also get a free Star Eater. I don't have one, but you can get a free Star Eater with Cytomus. And yeah, Decatron's a definite 3 of. And probably the best card in the deck. Then we're running 1 Permaze. Banish 1 Infernoid in your hand or grave, special summon this card. Target 1 set card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. Your opponent cannot activate that card in response to Permaze's effect. So, Permaze is a staple 1 of, in my personal opinion. Then we're running 2 Infernoid Antra. Antra's effect. Target a monster your opponent controls, spin it back, same summon condition as Permaze. Then we're running 2 Harmadik. I do want to run this card at 3. After the event, I struggled with Destruction, and I'm trying to get a hold of a 3rd, but for now we're still running it at 2. It's nice at 2, preferably at 3 though. Patrulia. This card came in so clutch. I was playing against Red Dragon Archfiend, and he had me locked down with Crimson Blader, and he was on 1900 life points. And what I did was I special summoned this, and then normal summoned a Lola, and made a cast stealth for game. This card is just great as a level 4 for rank 4s and synchros, and also just popping your opponent's back row is really fun. Also, all of the little Infernoids, other than Decatron that I've just shown you, during your turn, you contribute them to banish 1 card in your opponent's graveyard. Then we are playing triple Cytomus. The level 7 that you use to make one of the cards in the extra deck, and also if this card, you banish 2 from grave or hand to special summon it from hand or graveyard, which is why this card is really nice to mill. Well, actually all the Infernoids are really nice to mill. Banish 2 from hand or graveyard, special this card from hand or grave. If this card battles this turn, at the end of the battle phase, banish 1 card your opponent controls, and once per turn during either player's turn, you contribute 1 monster you control, and banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. So, disrupts, Call the Haunted plays, Wolfbuck plays, if you run into Fire Fists, things like that. Triple Atondel, he's level 8, and his effect reads, I'm not going to read you exactly, essentially he gets 2 attacks each battle phase if it runs over a monster. Same summoning conditions as Cytomus, and yeah, pushes for OTKs. I was running this card at 2 on the day, but I decided to bump it up to 3. And then we are running one Deviati and one Anunku. I need to get another copy of Deviati. Deviati basically won me my one game against Joshua Senju's. Banish 3 to summon this card from hand or grave. Destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. And you contribute one monster you control once per turn. During the player's turn to negate a monster effect and banish it. Anunku has the same summoning condition, but he destroys all monsters on board. And also you can tribute one monster you control, negate the activation of a spell or trap, and banish it. So the two real big Infernoid boss monsters. Then for the rest of the monsters we are running triple Raiden, double Lumina, one Lila, one Wolf, and one Swift Scarecrow. Swift Scarecrow is just there to defend you. I didn't run EMT because if I mill and special summon an EMT, I'm in a worse position. If I mill and special summon a Swift Scarecrow is good synchro fodder for Raiden. And also I can go Lumina Raiden, and if I have Swift Scarecrow on board I can make an 8. I can go Raiden Swift Scarecrow and make a 5. I can go Decatron, Picture 4. I can go Decatron, Picture 3, make it level 4, make Armades. So Swift Scarecrow is just a lot less bricky in that sense. If he's summoned, and you just have to make deal with it. But I did need some form of defense. I only run one trap card in this entire deck. So, yeah. Oh, other than the side deck, but we'll go into that later. Oh yeah, I actually built a side for once. Then for spells, we are running 2 charge, triple solar recharge. You're playing light swans. You might as well run these cards. And then we have a fuck ton of one-ups. So we have Foolish Burial, Magical Stone Excavation. I double reasoninged turn 1 against Red Resonator and against Resonators and just won. Like, this card won me games. Then we have 1 Void Imagination to summon the Fusion, 1 Void Seer, 1 1-for-1 to get me to Decatron, 1 Burial from a different dimension to recycle your banish cards, 1 Monster Gate, and 1 Reasoning. We all know what Monster Gate and Reasoning do for the deck. Mill Infernoids, set up Grave, win game. Because with Reasoning you can't summon a monster that can't be normal summoned, and like every Infernoid other than Decatron can't be normal summoned, so Reasoning does it for me. And then the 1 Treacherous Trap Hole, because I don't run any traps, Treacherous is there. Then we'll go on to the extra deck. We are running 1 Infernoid Tiara, the big fusion boss monster that I actually only went into once throughout the entire tournament. I went into it against Evil Swarm when he made a Bahamut. It's a decent 3/4 beat stick with a selection of effects. If you send 3 or more cards of fusion materials, each player sends the top 3 cards of their extra deck to the grave. Well, it sends 3 cards from their extra deck to the grave. 5 or more, each player sends the top 3 cards from their deck to the graveyard. 8 or more, each player returns up to 3 of their banished cards to the graveyard, recycle Infernoids. And then 10 or more, each player discards their entire hand. So yeah, Tiara is a really good card. Then we have big level 0 dude that I don't know the name of and will not attempt to pronounce. I just call him Token Guy. Summon this guy using 2 level 8s, 1 level 8 tuner and 1 level 8 non-tuner, aka Decatron and Ertondel. Fill up board with tokens. This guy can't be destroyed or targeted by your opponent's card effects, and gains 1,000 attack for each card on monster on field. So yeah, pretty good card. We're only playing the 1 low level synchro. That's Armades. For our level 7s, we are playing 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, 1 Black Rose, 1 Michael. For our level 8s, we are playing 1 Crimson Blader, 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and 1 Stardust Spark Dragon. And then we are also playing 1 Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree. When I get my hands on a Cypher Model Mega, I'm thinking the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst will come out of the deck. But while I don't own an Omega, that's just how we're going to go with it. Then we are playing one number 20 Giga Brilliant. Can't get away from my digital bug roots. We are playing one Abyss Dweller, one Castel, and one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Flare is so clutch, you wouldn't believe. I almost won a game against Cosmo, but I lost because I didn't make this card. Like, if I would have made Flare, I would have won, because you would have had to have gone for Infinity, and to get to Infinity, you would have had to have triggered Viking Island and then triggered a Cosmo ship. And yeah, that wasn't going to happen with Flare on board, so we would have lost from that point. And on to the side deck. Now, my side deck was thrown together in one night. It's not the most thought out thing. I kind of knew what I was going up against when I went to the event, so I kind of knew what to side for. I knew there was going to be lots of pendulum decks, because of Monkey Board getting hit. Everybody wanted to get their last hurrah in with Kieran and Monkey Board, and I kind of prepared for that. I also prepared for heavy back row decks, because I knew there was a guy playing Burn, and I was told there was a guy also playing, well, I knew Josh was playing USNG. I also sided for a guy playing Fluffles as well. I heard Fluffles were pretty popular in the local area, so yeah. The side deck was 2 Jinzo. I don't mind going into this card off Reasoning because it blocks off back row, and I only run 1 trap in my entire deck, so going into Jinzo really doesn't matter. Also, one's rare and one's gold rare. I'll mend that at some point. Then we're running 2 Marionette Might. Fluffles, Fright Furs and DDDs. When I played against Fright Furs, this card won me a game because I managed to steal this Fright Fur Tiger and OTK him from it. Then we're playing Triple MST. On the day I was borrowing Twin Twisters, but I do have MSTs on my side. These would be Twin Twisters if I owned them. And then I sided a variety of holes, basically, because I didn't own a playset of any of these. So I just sided a variety of my holes. So we ran 1 Pendulum hole, 1 Bottomless, 1 Time Space, and 1 Deep Dark Trap hole. All effect Pendulum decks, all effect Synchro decks other than Pendulum hole. The only cards these won't hurt are anti-meta decks, which I'm running Jinzo and MSTs for, so I kind of saved myself a bullet. Also for Pendulum and Synchro decks, I was running a copy of Vanities and a copy of Solemn. You may think, oh Ben, you're playing Infernoids while you're running Vanities. I don't care about Vanities being on board. I can summon Decatron, send a card from deck. I can mill with Raiden. I can just tribute a Infernoid I control to get rid of this card. So honestly, I didn't care about the card too much. And then 1 Transmigration Prophecy and 1 Breakthrough Skill, because I genuinely couldn't find the remainder of my cards that I wanted to side. I was siding a Crimson Sunbird actually, which is somewhere in my stash of jank. But yeah, that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Like I said, I did end up going 6, 7. I went 7 and 5 overall, which was enough to get me 4th place, which I was incredibly happy. And like I said, the people that beat me were a guy playing Chaos Max, my friend Josh, who was playing Yosenju's, the Red Resonator guy I beat round 3, who I believe gave false results personally, but I won't go into that. And then obviously I lost to Viking Cosmo, who was also Viking Cosmo player took 1st place, whose only loss was to my friend Dan, who took a game off him, and it was Dan's 1st ever tournament, and I cannot express how proud I am of the guy. Like, all of my friends that went, there were 4 of us. There was, well, technically 5 if you include John, but there was myself, Daniel, Josh, and Reese, and we all placed top 10 out of 30. Reese took Pendulum Young Zings, Josh took Yosenju, and Dan took Odd Eyes. We all wanted to play decks for their last hurrahs, and Josh just wanted to be a cunt. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. I'm sorry for the lack of uploads. It will speed up, I do promise. I promise to get a couple of duels with this deck. I think me and a bunch of friends are meeting on Wednesday at the local library, so I may record a couple of matches while I'm there. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. Swift Scarecrow, end the battle phase. I'll see you in a bizzle.